What I would like to show you today is why we use more present perfect than simple past. For example, a very, very, very common word, a verb, the verb to marry. Okay? When we marry a person, we normally use this, okay? And we will be a wife or a husband. Good? Nice. For example, I say about my status, I am married. Okay? I am married. I'm not single. I am married. Good? Nice. But then if I ask you, how long have you been married? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. When we marry in the past. But we are still married. We continue the relationship. So, until the present, I am still married. So I can say, for example, in my case, I can say, I have been married for 11 years. Why? Because this situation here, this situation of being married started when? In the past. And I continue married. I am not divorced. Okay? So every time when the situation, action, accident, whatever, it started in the past, but we are still performing this situation until the present, we use what? Present perfect. And what is the perfect? How do we do the present perfect? Have or have. In this case, have because I. And the verb in the past participle. Okay? Good? For example, your case, you are a doctor. Nice? You are a doctor. But when did you become a doctor? How many years ago? Present perfect. Let's go. Let's use present perfect. Good. Perfect. Or I've, contraction form. I've been a doctor for 17 years. Okay? You got it now? You can't say I am a doctor for 17 years. That is Portuguese. Okay? You cannot say I am married for 11 years. This is Portuguese. That's why we use a lot present perfect, present perfect. Okay? Or also, we use present perfect for actions that we have done more than one time. For example, I can say, let's talk about my husband, okay? He has, because he, okay? He has gone to the U.S. I don't know, 6 times. Okay? What here, remember, here is a situation that started in the past, but you were still having the result. You were still performing it. And here, you start, in this case, not you, but he, okay? He started going to the U.S. some years ago when he went there more than one time. He went there, in this case, 6 times, sorry. But we can be more specific. For example, he has gone to the U.S. In this case, we need to use been because I will use the preposition, the since. He has been to U.S. since 2004, for example. It wasn't only one action, more than one. If this person here, in this case, that's my husband, if he has gone to the U.S. only in 2004, I need to change what here? Preposition first, in, because he went to the U.S. only one time, so in, and I need to change here. He was. Okay? So two things to consider. First, an action that started in the happening when we still having the results, we are still performing it, or actions that happened in the past more than one time. In this third paragraph, okay, you see that he has lived in the U.S. What's the continuation? Lived in the since he was 5 years old. Okay? He has lived in the U.S. since he was 5 years old. He lives now in the U.S. Does he live now in the U.S.? Yes. He's still in the U.S. If we say he lived in the U.S. For 5 years, or when he was 5, for example, when he was 5, in this first case here, he is still in the U.S. He still lives there. But in this case, look, not anymore. Yes, not anymore. Okay? But pay attention. I'd like to call your attention for the prepositions. Okay? Look. For, okay to use for with simple past because it's talked about a period of time. Okay? How long the person lived there. For example, I lived in California for 2 years. I must use for to identify how long I lived there. But if I say I lived in the U.S. for 5 years, I don't live anymore. Okay? In this case, he has lived in the U.S. since he was 5 and he is still there. Okay? Nice? Now you, tell me how long have you lived in Brasilia? I have lived. Very good. So you said, I have lived in Brasilia since 2002. Okay? Nice? 2002. 2002. 2002. Okay. So you have lived in Brasilia since 2002. So since it's used for a specific date, month, year, day, okay? It's correct if you say 2002, but it's more used to use 2002. But look, 2002 until 2008 is the period that you have been living in Brasilia, okay? So you can say what, 60 years, right? So in this case, if you say 16 years, you can't use since. You need to use the preposition for, because for reveals the amount of time. Good? Nice.